A Harvard study found that despite modern workout routines and equipment, modern Americans are less active than those in the early 19th century, with a 6% drop in resting metabolic rate since 1820, equating to 27 fewer minutes of daily exercise. Why is there bacon filling in my raspberry chocolate bar? I want my berries! Labor shortages, whether due to lethargy or other factors, have become a troubling trend, prompting companies to explore alternative solutions. One such company is Fieldwork Robotics. They have partnered with Costa Group to trial its AI-supported Fieldworker 1 autonomous harvesting robot to reduce labor and improve efficiency on berry farms. The Fieldworker 1 offers AI-backed precision picking that they claim matches human speed and quality. It has the ability to analyze berry ripeness through spectral frequency analysis without damaging the fruit. This technology eliminates human bias, reduces waste, and ensures only ripe berries are picked. The robot's adaptable system allows for real-time decision-making, providing growers with a non-invasive, efficient harvesting solution to optimize operations and minimize labor. Coming up, we'll explore how a farm management system is simplifying operations so spectacularly that the corn will be using their app for an ear checkup. But first, it's our premier product highlight sponsored by Mouser Electronics. The Teledyne FLIR E5 and E6 Pro Series thermal infrared cameras utilize multispectral dynamic imaging to overlay visual details on thermal images for rapid problem identification. Featuring a 640 by 480 touchscreen, users can add notes to images. These cameras connect to the FLIR Ignite cloud service, allowing for easy editing, storing, organizing, and sharing of images from any device. The Teledyne FLIR E5 and E6 Pro Series thermal infrared cameras are ideal for applications in industrial equipment inspections, condition monitoring, and building inspections. Check them out today at Mouser.com. We are evolving into a more automated world. To help us better understand control automation, we present David's Corner.
Thanks, Andy. A common question that I hear is, what makes servo motors different than other kinds of motors, like a DC motor, an AC motor, stepper motor? Well, the answer, surprisingly, is that a servo motor isn't any different than any of the rest of those. You can have AC servo motors and DC servo motors, and they can be built with stepper motors. The difference is that in a servo system, we use the motor, but we automatically attach some sort of feedback device, usually an encoder, right onto the frame of the motor, so that we have both the output and the feedback all into one unit. That's what makes it called a servo. So technically, the motor part of it can be driven just like an AC or a DC motor. But what advantage do we get by connecting the feedback to it? Well, the whole point of feedback is just to ensure that when we told the motor to go to a certain speed or a certain position, that it did in fact get to that position or reach that speed. Otherwise, we're just supplying voltage and hoping that the motor is achieving the goal that we set for it. The way we connect those, though, is a little bit more complicated. So to say that they're no different isn't quite true. Although the motor part may be similar, we do have to rely on what we call servo amplifiers, or sometimes servo driver boards, to ensure that we can drive them properly. So these are going to have a supply of power, a supply of control from our control system. That might also be just a network port. We also have the connection going out to the motor and the connection going out to the encoder, the feedback portion. So those are four different components of the servo driver that we need to consider: supplying power, supplying input signal, supplying output power to the motor, and supplying feedback signal. These servo motor driver boards, or these servo motor amplifiers, are used to increase the voltage and the current instead of just relying on the signal. For example, the PLC, perhaps from an Ethernet or a Profinet network, cannot possibly deliver the amount of power that it takes to run a large motor just from that Ethernet port. Similarly, from digital outputs, even if we can pulse a digital output on and off quickly enough, we can't possibly do it with enough power to drive the motor. So the amplifier board simply is a translator to turn the control signals from the controller into the power signals out to the motor and verify that we're reaching our intended target as quickly and effectively as possible. There's all kinds of control strategies that these servo drivers boards use to make sure that they reach that target properly, but at the end of the day, what we really need is a motor that can drive to where we want and stop exactly where we want at just the right speed and just the right time to produce the intended result. Andy, back to you.
Thank you, David. The impact on technology doesn't just affect those lazy Americans. A study in Nature revealed surprising effects of AI on decision-making and laziness among university students in China and Pakistan. The analysis reveals that AI significantly contributes to 69% of human laziness and 28% of decision-making loss. You know, I want to have an opinion on that, but I just can't decide. I'll decide later. CropX, apparently a company of non-slackers, has developed the CropX agronomic farm management system. It consolidates data from various farm operations into a single platform for analysis, visualization, and insights, thereby allowing users to manage and analyze real-time data on all of these activities collected through satellites, sensors, and machinery. Yes, that's right. CropX can detect the status of your farm from space better than your Uncle Jed can after a wheelbarrow race and 10 Long Islands. CropX integrates with equipment from John Deere and C&H brands that enable automated data transfer. This enhances planning, documentation, and sustainable farming by providing a comprehensive view of farm operations for low labor, waste-reductive management. The system is so easy, Jed can even control it from his wheelbarrow. Whatever keeps the raspberries in the chocolate, I'm all for. That'll do it for this edition of Automator's Edge. Be sure to check out our other episodes by clicking the link, and we'll see you there.